Darling, managing a station isn't a job for girls. Work health and safety? Get that out of my factory. But you live in Adelaide. How can you possibly be the Rural Woman of the Year? At 17 and fresh out of boarding school, I couldn't wait to get home. Unfortunately, the collective impact of the drought of 82, the drought of the 90s, abysmal wool prices and absurd interest rates meant that I didn't have my sheep station or a nuclear family to go home to. What I did have, in lieu of a degree in journalism, which I never started, much to my father's disgust, was a job as a station hand, $346 in my pocket, plus board, a tank of petrol, a carton, and a mission to conquer every rodeo this state has to offer. That lasted for about 18 months before I realised that not only was it going to take another 20 years to up my rank in the station's pecking order, but that I was never actually going to own the property or be able to contribute to the decision making. So why stay? In a desperate attempt to appease my dad's really limited and rapidly diminishing daughter fund, which was usually reserved for ute breakdowns and other related emergencies, I tried and failed contract mustering at $120 a day, which felt like Christmas, and in 2006 I received the ultimate ultimatum: go to uni or come to mining. So I followed my dad, with my tail between my legs, into the mining industry. It was there that I fell into my career in work health and safety, and I made a 5-year plan with the hope that the ag industry would be ready for me and for work health and safety by around 2011. Dad's health continued to deteriorate as a result of having contracted Q fever and Ross River in his 30s, and so my mission to reduce the number of people hurt in primary industries was born. In 2013, coinciding with my dad's becoming permanently disabled as a result of the gradual onset of diabetes, heart failure and kidney failure, and if we can all just acknowledge him sitting down here to my left.
Well done, Dad.
I came home from Western Australia to look after him, and I took a punt at consulting to Port Lincoln's fishing industry. To be honest, I thought I'd be able to leverage my rural background amongst the fishing community as a token of credibility, but I was wrong. And let's be honest, as a 20-something young woman who doesn't like seafood, didn't know the difference between the bow and the stern, who was trying with all the right intentions to talk safety to seafarers, the odds were stacked really heavily against me. And I thought mining was tough. So I did what all hypervigilant young people do, and I blew all of my money on an overseas trip to Norway so that I could conduct my own self-directed research into gaining a better understanding of what good work health and safety looks like in the context of fishing. I returned to Port Lincoln broke, but fairly happy with what I'd achieved, and yet with no more street credibility than I'd wanted had in the first instance. Trying to influence safety amongst fishermen was like trying to sell ice to Eskimos. What did eventuate from my time in Norway and Port Lincoln was a part-time contract with the Doctor of Sociology, conducting research for the Fisheries Research and Development Corporation on what the barriers are to being safe whilst at sea. There's no denying that the majority of my career has been spent in other industries, but my heart is and always will be with ag and rural communities. I'm not an agronomist, I'm not a farmer, and I'm not a fisher, and I never became a rural journalist. I've worked with mining, oil and gas, construction, hospitality, not-for-profit, health, communications, film, in research, and for a group of organisational psychologists for small, medium and large businesses. I now live in Kings Park, but I've also lived on various sheep stations in the Northeast Pastoral, in Roxby Downs, Port Lincoln, Parachilna, Waikerie, Perth and Darwin. I've packed meat at the Metro Velda abattoir, and I've pulled beers at the Bonaccord Hotel in Burra. I took a sabbatical as a rouseabout for a local shearing contractor, and I hosted tourists at the Parachilna pub, and that wasn't that long ago. Do I identify myself as a rural woman? Yes. Do I have something to offer as a young person who doesn't necessarily understand what it means to have done it this way for years? Absolutely. Am I open to heeding the wisdom of those here before me and integrating that capital with the knowledge of today, tomorrow and the future? Without a doubt. About 2 months ago, I had the privilege of spending a week with the 2018 AgriFutures Horizons Scholars. The hive of energy, passion and intellect in the room was infectious, and upon receiving their critique on my Rural Women's Award project, even I, as alleged youth, was completely overwhelmed by the knowledge, the insight and the diversity of thought that these remarkable individuals had to offer. Our consumers, our employees and our leaders of today, tomorrow and the future. I also attended the sensationally executed Growing the Future event at Adelaide Oval. Conversely, however, the people in the room appeared stifled in their confidence to stand up and to ask questions, to approach the senior cohort and in their ability to add value. Young people are living and breathing an experience in agriculture and of this world that is wildly different to mine, to yours and to each and every other person in this room. Young people understand social media, blockchain and artificial intelligence. I don't. And yet there isn't a textbook in the world that can impart the resilience, the perspective and the wisdom that can come from farming over 6 generations. So as employees, consumers and leaders of today, we have an incredible opportunity right now to harness the energy, the knowledge, the views and the opinions of young people and to bolster the sustainability of the agriculture industry. The agriculture industry has always prided itself on resilience, resourcefulness and capability, none of which is possible without people and in an ever-changing world without diversity of thought and without inclusion. So while I no longer live on the land, my experiences as a work health and safety professional and a young person across a multitude of other industries have been the perfect catalyst in equipping me to give back to the industry that has given so much to me. Would you let me have a seat at your table?